I'm Cynthia James, and this network is about changing lives one woman at a time.
Welcome to Women Awakening. I'm your host, Cynthia James, and I'm honored to be with you every week to introduce you to another incredible woman, a woman that's taking control of her life, a woman that is standing in her power. Actually, all of these women are change makers on multiple levels. And so they're examples of what's possible because we all live in a field of possibility. I'm extraordinarily grateful for my life and the choices that I've made to bring me to this point. And I want to give you portals of opportunity to step into your power because the world is waiting for you. So we are on iTunes, Spotify, our iHeart, Amazon, YouTube. Subscribe and come back every week and meet an extraordinary woman. So, my guest today is Jenni Parker Brown. Nicknamed the Dream Warrior, Jenni Parker Brown is a visionary, divine brand catalyst, and quantum alignment strategist. She's the founder of the highly acclaimed House of Preeminence magazine, and she helps and showcases mission-driven change makers and positions them as sought-after super leaders. Her diverse careers, okay, I want you to listen to this, range from fashion retailing, performing arts, fitness instructor, equestrian cabaret artist, award-winning gastronomy chef, published author, media designer, image consultant, and visionary magazine editor. I mean, it sounds like she's done a whole lot in this lifetime, yeah? So her mission and passion are to raise the bar on transformation by bringing the qualities of beauty, grace, and heart to help humanity rise. What I really love is that her background is backed up with neuroscience, quantum physics, and a passion for well-being and fulfillment, and a mission to reveal to as many people as she can reach the magic of basing their life on their genius and superpowers through sharing the incredible power of the Trinity Code, the groundbreaking quantum success model for the 21st century. Jenni, welcome.
Thank you so much. When you read out a bio, I'm always looking around going, where is this woman? I want to meet her.
Yes. Well, I mean,
are they talking about me?
Absolutely. But you know what I think is so wonderful about this is like every woman that I've interviewed, you know, there's been over 150 of them, all have had all these different trajectories in their lives. And I think that's what makes it powerful is that we kept growing with the vision that lived within us. So I want to know, where did you come from? Where were you born? How did you grow up?
Well, I was just thinking about this yesterday, Cynthia, how grateful I am. I don't know if you feel like this, to be a baby boomer, because we grew up in one of the safest times for children. This was a time before screens. Screens were a luxury that we maybe had at the weekend for an old Western. But nevertheless, you know, I grew up in Devon in England. I'm in France now, and the overriding memories of my childhood was of safety, of being able to fulfill myself as a child. So we were out every day, all the time. We were allowed to go out, and we thought nothing of walking 2 miles to the beach every single day in the summer holidays and going roller skating and all these amazing things we could do in my seaside town. And we were always out. We couldn't stay in. It was completely safe. Nobody was worried about where you were at that time, or, you know, what time you should come in, as long as you were kind of out having fun. So it was such a blessed time, just such a blessed time. And it is a beautiful place. Devon in England is a really beautiful place with moorlands and little quaint cottages with thatched roofs and all that, and cream teas and all that stuff. So my my actual childhood until I was 18 was really, really beautiful. And my parents were estate agents, like real estate agents. So we moved quite often into really comfortable houses. So I really wanted for nothing.
Wow, that's so beautiful. It's really interesting. Well, I'm a baby boomer too, and it's really interesting because what you're describing in terms of the neighborhoods and stuff, people kept their doors open and people went out. But in my community, excuse me, there were a lot of things that were going behind closed doors that weren't so great. But we went to school, we could do all kinds of different things. And so I think the baby boomers came because we were going to be change agents and transformational agents that for things to come. So I want to just talk about this career. I mean, you've had, several careers in this lifetime. Were you always curious? Were you always, someone who wanted to experience new things?
It's a great question. There's a really important story in there. No, I had no idea what I had an idea what I wanted to do when I was 18, and that was either work with horses or do something artistic. That was the only thing I could think of. I couldn't think of anything else. And so all of this trajectory was actually the way that life brought me to the great work that I'm doing now. And I've missed out a few careers in that. I missed out chateau restoration and a couple of others. But that's the way life was. So what I noticed, I used to feel like some kind of dilettante, or because in our educational period we were taught to be specialists, like to specialize in something so that we could go on and get better and better and better in that thing. Of course, I felt like an outsider because I just kept swapping careers, and most of them I did really well in. So but what was happening, and it really occurred to me in 2006, Cynthia, was that life was bringing me to this very first time when I would really fulfill a really huge dream, and all of that trajectory was actually to bring me to that point. And it was as an equestrian cabaret artist, because when I came to France 30 years ago, I discovered that cabaret with horses was a whole culture, was a whole thing on the continent. I thought I'd landed in heaven, and I'm like, okay, this is it. I've arrived. Like my life can start now. So I started training for that, because this is what I'd been wanting to do for the last 12 years, and gone all over the place. And then suddenly here I was in this beautiful, beautiful place where it was possible to learn how to do artistic things with horses. So from that dream that I never left, this was life's way of bringing me to this point. And the most important thing in that is that I actually got to doing it for a very short time as a professional, during which time there was this beautiful moment on the Mediterranean, in an arena on the Mediterranean coast, on the Côte d'Azur, when I had to, me and my little white horse had to replace the head of the troupe on the day of the show, because her horse was injured, and which was terrifying to me. She was amazing, and her horse was amazing, and I was still training, and my horse performed to perfection. And we were doing this incredible number. We did 2 numbers. We did this incredible number where, because I taught him to dance with my body language. There were no kind of, circus whips or that sort of stuff. And I was in a white dress. It was actually one of my ex-husband's, my wedding dress. And it was exquisitely beautiful. And at the end of it, this trapezist, she came down from a tree. And then Danny, the head of the troupe, she opened a chest of doves. It sounds like a fairy tale, but it actually happened. And it was life-changing. She opened his chest, and 12 white doves flew around the arena, and they came and landed on my horse, Poliso. who did not move a muscle. And in that moment, I had what I can only describe as, I don't know, epiphany, Kundalini awakening, whatever you want to call it. But I knew that for some reason, that whole very strange trajectory of bringing me to this moment of this fulfilling this deep heart and soul desire was really important. And I was like, okay, I'm done. Beam me up, Scotty. I'm good. Thanks. This was great.
Well, this is so incredible because I got to tell you this. First of all, when I saw equestrian cabaret, I was like, what is that? Because cabaret in our country is like you sing, right? To do it with a horse is something, but something you said was very important to me. Everything led you to that moment. And I feel like that's what happens in our lives. If we really look at where we are in the moment, everything has led us to that moment. And so now you've opened this field and you can see the magic revealing itself in your work. I want to know how you got from there to this incredible magazine and wanting to bring other people's light to the planet.
Well, it was because this feeling in that moment was so powerful. And only just a few years earlier, when I'd become a mother for the second time at the age of 41, I'd been pretty suicidal. I was very depressed. And in that moment, I asked the universe, what is it that can take human beings from the depths of despair to feeling this much joy and expansion? Because if I can know what that is, and I can replicate it, and I can teach it to other people, then I'm going to do something really great on this earth. And of course, I asked the universe, and the universe said, "Watch out, girl! You're just like here it comes." And so I went on the path of personal development of all sorts, and then business, and then Mixer 2, and there was quite a few other adventures in there. But the fact is that again, by the most incredible synchronicities in 2017, I had a hotel business. That was another episode. I put it into dissolution voluntarily because I knew that part was not part of this bigger picture. And I voluntarily went into personal bankruptcy. And the minute I did it, the universe said, yes, you're back on the right track. It showed me I was on the right track. It just flooded me with opportunities, including the opportunity to be on a branding TV reality show in Florida. I started off in Florida, first of all as a candidate, and then as an expert. And the key thing that links it with the magazine there is that the work I was doing was very sweet and very lovely, but it was not world class, and it certainly wasn't. It didn't have those keys and those answers that I was looking for. So I went looking for them. And what I discovered, this is the Trinity Code. What I discovered was just absolutely blew my mind, which really is the secret to manifestation, but so much more. That the real keys to self-fulfillment and self-realization on earth as it is. So that now has become my life's work, and everything I do now is an expression of my life's work. So again, going back to what you said, Cynthia, that whole trajectory has brought me now to using that experience to asking a bigger question: is what value can I give to the world with this? How can I serve with the wisdom that I found? And it looks like this magazine and this amazing platform, which is so exciting.
Well, that's so beautiful. And I just want to tell the women that are listening, sometimes what looks like a failure or an ending is actually a beginning. And that's exactly what you said. You knew something was telling you, dissolve this, go through this bankruptcy because there's something grander and greater waiting for you. And then I loved what you said. And then all these opportunities came. So tell us about the magazine. I mean, I'm so honored that I get to be in this magazine with you, but I want to know, tell us about the magazine and how you choose the women to be on the covers.
So the magazine really is for changemakers, and I include not just entrepreneurs in that, because I feel that there are so many women all over the world who just know their part in the great, this great uplifting work that we are called to do, and how the feminine is being called to take its place. So whether they're in business or not is not a thing. But women, if they are stirred to make a difference, are change makers. So the magazine is for change makers, and I bring all of this, as you mentioned, the new thoughts and the new sciences that we have now that have been so shared by the great people like Greg Braden and Bruce Lipton and Joe Dispenza and those awesome guys. And all of that knowledge now is freely available, but how can we apply it to our lives, our lifestyles and business, to allow us to accelerate the great work we're doing. The world is a big place. Since we were in that gorgeous baby booming time, there are quite a few other billion people on the planet. So we have big work to do. So I make that knowledge and that wisdom and that sharing available, but with great beauty and great grace and great high vibration. And so the women that I'm introduced to, as you were introduced to me through Marsha Martin, are always the right fit, always the right fit. I don't just go out and look at a successful, a financially successful female influencer. It doesn't interest me. If her soul is aligned with my soul mission, then it's always a perfect fit.
Yes. Well, I'm in awe of you and what you've done and the beauty and the grace in which you deliver the magazine. And but I want to ask you, women like us who are visionaries and who are also creative, it's a trajectory dealing with relationships and bearing children and balancing all of that. And I know that the women that are listening here are a lot of them are in the question, like, how do I balance this passion that wants to come through me with relationships and still stand in my power? So what's been your journey there?
There's a couple of things that I realized in my, we do get wiser as we get older. Thank goodness. We do get wiser. Things might start to, listen to gravity, but we do get wiser. So first of all, I've realized that life will be messy, whatever. It doesn't matter what you have in your bank account, life will still be messy, We have loved ones who transition. We have pets that transition. We have pandemics. We have wars. It's always been messy throughout the whole of history, and it probably isn't going to change. I'd like to think so, but it probably isn't. So if you can just have a certain degree of acceptance of life's going to happen anyway. But my great work and my great expression of myself to the world is more important, and I will put my own oxygen mask on first. That is one thing. Is just not thinking that at any point that we're going to be protected by events and circumstances. We're not. We still get sad. We still get in a funk. We still get bad days. But the great work, when you're really connected to it, will carry you through. And the other thing is, my beloved partner, my final partner, just to say, as I've been married 4 times, who's also a really wise and beautiful angel. He taught me the equation of 1 and 1 makes 3, which originated with Rumi, the poet, the Persian poet. And he talked about this third entity in a relationship, which he called the beloved. And if in any relationship, whether it's couples or, or colleagues or even in a company, you have yourself, you have the other, and you have this third entity, which is so lovely to call it the beloved. So we use that as one and one makes three. Now, what is the beloved has an interest. It's not just me, or you, and any power struggles in there. But what is in the interests of the beloved, of this third entity? And if you can keep that in mind when navigating everything, just every day, it takes away so much struggle.
Yeah, that is so important. I too have been married 4 times, and I see I kissed a lot of frogs thinking they were going to be princes until the real person walked in. So I totally get that. But I think a part of what is important about what you're sharing is that your whole person and your partner whole person came in and partnered with the beloved so that it became this beautiful thing. And your children, have they captured that vision?
Not at all. No, not a chance. I did my best, and it's like, well, I'm here when you need me. Just like, no. My eldest, who is now 43, she's going to be 43 this year. She is kind of softening and coming around a little bit because she's now a mother of 2 demon toddlers. So she's so motherhood and parenting is really kind of giving her lots of questioning. The young one for who's 24 for the moment, not bothered. And unfortunately, she is in this latest screen-dominated generation, which, and I pray for their souls. So to answer your question, not quite.
Yeah, but here's the thing. That's what I think is important, though, is like they get to have their own journey. They get to have their own trajectory.
Absolutely.
But we get to model what possibility can look like, and health can look like, and grace can look like. So I have 2 boys, and, I've watched their choices and gone, are you sure you want to do that? And everything that's happening to them is going to bring them to their moments of awakening. So it's awesome. I want to know how people find you. How do people get get your magazine and learn about your work?
Well, it's really easy. At my website, which is Jenni with an I -p.com, /magazine, and you'll see the beautiful magazine on which your beautiful face is going to be on it very shortly. So jenni-p.com /magazine, and when you sign up there, you will get the last issue, so the issue that's just out, and also a preeminence blueprint, which is of the 9 graces. So it's a little bit more about the work that's in the magazine. And every magazine, it is free. It is always chock-a-block full of gorgeous wisdom. So, and if you want to talk to me, I'm just Google Jenni Parker Brown and find me. And I'm just, you can just find people. I'm on Facebook. I'm willing. I'm available and open. I've got a Facebook group. So anybody can find me and it would be my joy to come into the preeminence Jenniverse.
I love that. Well, I ask the same last question of every guest. This show is called Women Awakening. What do you think is the most important thing about women awakening on the planet at this moment?
I think a lot of women have had their dreams tampered down. It seems to me that that we are now in, we're kind of seem to be in this whole coping paradigm, whereby I want my work is to really remind people that you are an infinite creator, and you can still be and have anything you want, whatever's going on in the world. So even the word dreams has gone out of fashion a little bit. It's very much linked to material possessions, whereby, if you know, that I think that's what my life's work is about, is to remind people that, you know, to dream and dream big and go after it and start wherever you are. Just start.
Yes, just start. Well, Jenni, thank you so much for being here and bringing your wisdom and your enthusiasm and your creativity. It's an honor to walk this path with you. And ladies, I hope you will investigate her and look for her magazine. It really is exquisite and filled with so many gifts for you. Thank you, Jenni.
Thank you so much for allowing me to share this message. Thank you. And I look forward to meeting all of you ladies out there.
All right, ladies. So I want you to know you can go to cynthiajames.net if you need support or you want to be in my monthly newsletter or find out what I'm doing around the world. But I'm going to close with the same thing I say to you in different form every week. This is your time. This is the time on the planet when you have been put here for a divine reason. You are an unrepeatable spark of the divine. And so therefore you have come here to do something nobody else can do. And yes, it can be scary. And yes, you can question. And yes, you can have doubts. But just start. That's what Jenni just told us. Just start. Move in the direction of your dreams and watch what happens. Grateful to see you. I'll see you next week.